In the last 48 hours, a lot of WWE superstars are standing up, stepping up, and speaking up for themselves and calling out the WWE for the way they've been misused, and in most cases not used at all, for the way that creative for WWE has not gotten behind them 1 ounce. And just like in any job, whether you're flipping burgers at McDonald's or you're stocking the shelves at the local Walmart or you're on 5th Avenue and you're working the next 9 hours at your big suit and tie banking job, no matter how much money you're getting or how little, no matter how big on the food chain you are or how small, everybody wants to be respected at work. Everybody wants the time of day. Everybody deserves to be looked at and given a chance. Just because they're WWE superstars, just because we think they're making a bunch of money and they get to travel the world, doesn't mean that they're not miserable down deep within themselves, because they know what they're capable of and they know that they've never gotten a damn real chance. And they know how they're being treated. You know, for so long now, 2 years since I've had this channel, people say, maybe I'm too negative. Maybe I call out too much of WWE's bullshit. Maybe I should focus more on positive things, positive situations, positive storylines, positive topics. And I say to those theories, why don't you show me where the positivity is? And maybe I'll jump into it. Until then, I can only call the truth what it is. Factual truth. Reality, what it is. Factual reality. I live in the real world. I would love to suspend disbelief when the pro wrestling shows are over, but I can't. I get in front of this camera and I dish out reality, fact, truth. And for 2 years, I've had the WWE superstars call people like me, we're the entitled ones, like Xavier Woods called us. Or like Paige said, we're the reason that the product was suffering back in the day when it came to women's wrestling. And we're the reasons that it had bra and panties matches. Yeah, it was all the fans' fault. And like Baron Corbin says, we are the ones that are overly negative for no reason. We should just show up and be entertained. We shouldn't have a voice, is what Baron Corbin told us. But I stuck with my way of doing business on this channel. I stuck with what I believed in, which was what I believed to be the truth. And now here we are, finally. Vindication. Finally. Everybody now sees that the Amplified Man was telling the truth, was bringing the facts and reality from day one. And just because some people that watch these videos didn't like it, and just because a lot of the superstars didn't like it because it wasn't making it fun for them anymore, maybe it's because it wasn't fun for the fans anymore. Because they were the yes men. Xavier Woods, Baron Corbin, Paige, they were all the yes men and women. So they didn't want to step on the company's toes. So they just shot back at the fans. But it wasn't fun for us for the longest time. It has not been fun for us in the longest time. So you can blame us for pro wrestling not being fun because of channels like this and we're negative, but it's because what we're watching is bullshit. It's garbage. It's nonsensical. It's confusing. It's stupidity. So it ain't fun for us. We're trying to get it back on course, back on track, and thankfully, a plethora of superstars are finally starting to come out. No matter how small or big you think they are in the company, from a Zack Ryder to a Lana to a Tyler Breeze to a Luke Harper to a Rusev to Naomi. Superstars are finally starting to come together or on their own. Maybe it's 2 a.m. and they just can't sleep because work life sucks. And they're miserable at their jobs. Finally, everybody is now seeing that people like the Amplified Man was right all along. So the Xaviers can shove it up their ass. Baron Corbin can shut his fucking mouth. And Paige can go piss in the wind. Nobody wants to hear your sad, violent stories. Go play that shit somewhere else. Because now, the real superstars that aren't afraid to get fired for speaking up. The real superstars that are not going to follow suit and follow in line and kiss Mr. McMahon's ass. They're speaking up. This was an actual quote from Luke Harper on his social media in the last 48 hours. This is from Luke Harper. I read all the texts I got that said, "You're back on Access?" I was kind to all the people at the gym asking if I'm retired. I swallowed my pride when agents and writers asked me if I was still hurt when completely healthy. And now here we are, April 4th, 2019, when worlds collide at Access. Luke Harper versus Donovan. How will I respond? How will I change things? Well, to all of you, this may just be a throwaway Access match, but I can assure you, to me, it is much, much more. This is a test. No one has to be happy with the results except me. That's the true test. Do I still have it? Can I compete with a young, up-and-coming, incredibly talented NXT prospect? Am I too old? Has the game passed me by? Am I as good as I really think I am? It brings me to tears. This is what he literally said. Listen to these words, guys. It brings me to tears to write this because I truly believe I have so fucking much to offer this industry. I believe I will be world heavyweight champion someday. I believe that. But these are the doubts I live with daily. These are the doubts that creep into your head during rehab. These are the thoughts you think when being ignored and left at home for months. Exasperated, and it sucked. That was Luke Harper's exact words, and I quote, "This guy has been ready to come back for weeks and weeks now, and WWE told him, we have nothing for you." Sound familiar? Like Asuka? Like Naomi? Like so many before him? We have nothing for you. Stay at home. Somebody like Luke fucking Harper, who even in his late 30s still can run circles around 50% plus of that roster. And Luke Harper is being told, we got nothing for you, champ. We're bringing back Eric Rowan, who easily, Luke Harper is 36 times better than Eric Rowan. But we'll keep you home. Meanwhile, Triple H admitted that on any given day on the Performance Center, there could be 100 prospects in that Performance Center, and Triple H continues to sign prospects from around the world like fucking Pac-Man. Worse than the video Pac-Man. He's just eating up every talent around the world. And for what? To shove them all at the Performance Center? And then what? Some of them, most of them, a lot of them get to go to the NXT roster. Okay, that's going to be over-flooded as it already is. Takeovers only have about 5 matches. And then what? You call up superstars to the main roster. For what? It's already overcrowded. You have superstars like Asuka, who's the champion, who was sitting at home for weeks because they had nothing for the champion. Until finally they had something for her. Asuka, yeah, come into work. We're going to have you drop the title in the middle of SmackDown. Yeah, that was her big plan. Luke Harper, you ready? You sit at home. We signed a bunch of prospects. 614 in the last 4 months to be accurate. But we'll call you when we have something for you. 2 months later. Luke, is this you? Yeah, it's WWE. We finally have something for you. A big match at Access. That's your re-debut. Could you imagine being Luke Harper? But Triple H and everybody, they'll sign everybody to the Performance Center. They'll sign. They'll eat up everybody in the world. Pac-Man status. And for what? What are they gonna do with them on the main? They don't have enough room. You can make 7 different rosters. Raw, SmackDown, NXT can be called up to be a main player with Raw and SmackDown, and they could be a third actual brand, like a main roster. So in other words, you take NXT out of development, and now they're actually competing. Not just on the network anymore. So you could have Raw, SmackDown, NXT. You could have WWE Velocity, WWE fucking Megadeth. You could have WWE fucking any type of roster you want, 7 of them, and you're still not going to be able to utilize everybody because it is overcrowded. WWE Amplified. WWE Electrified. What the fuck? You could have different shows, different brands, it wouldn't matter. You could have 150 superstars eating up 7 different shows, and it's still not going to be enough. There's too much talent. So here's a theory. Work with your top talents now. Work with them. Create. Get creative. Give them the time of day. Create superstars. Create storylines that are larger than life. Create feuds that captivate us. Instead of just trying to sign every single talent you come across. That's all I'm seeing. More. And we're getting less in the entertainment aspect. Sometimes quality is much more important than quantity. It doesn't even stop at Luke Harper. My girl Naomi, she took to social media as well, and she was really pissed when she found out that she's just going to be at the another thrown together battle royal, just like Asuka. Asuka found out that she was dropping the title hours before she actually dropped the title, and then when she got back through the curtain, they said, you're going to be in the battle royal. Nobody knows if this is probably going to be on the pre-show, actually. I doubt it's going to be on the main show, and would it even matter? So Naomi wrote this, y'all sure this ain't going to get canceled too? Because Naomi's talking about her WrestleMania 29 match that got canceled during WrestleMania. You guys remember that? That was with the Funkadactyls, Brodus Clay, Tensai. They were taking on the Bella Twins, Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow. Just got canceled. Middle of the show. So Naomi said on social media, blasting WWE, y'all sure this ain't gonna get canceled too? And then she wrote, by the way, thank you so much for the opportunity. You guys catching the sarcasm there? Somebody actually wrote to Naomi, sometimes it's best to be humbly silent for the sake of your career. And Naomi wrote back, boo, I've been humbly silent for a decade. I don't have another decade in me, especially not for BS. Now you see why I love this girl. Now you see why I love her, man. She will step up and stand up and speak up for herself. She said, I don't have another decade in this business, especially not for BS. It's time for her to stand the fuck up. And then she tweeted out and sent out on social media a picture of her and Asuka. And she said, I got you, sis. So she stepped up big time. Big time. For Asuka, for herself, and for the entire women's division. And most likely for all of WWE as a whole, knowing Naomi, because that's the type of person she is. Always looking out for others. Didn't even stop there. How about Tyler Breeze, guys? Tyler Breeze took to social media and he just went on an onslaught. I'm just going to give you some of what he said on social media, but he had about 30 different messages flying out at us. But Tyler Breeze just put, eventually, you say no thank you. I'm worth more. And obviously he's referring to always being on the main event TV show and never in the limelight or never actually used on Raw or SmackDown or at the pay-per-views. He's always on main event. And now he's got an access match that he's not fond of. So he actually wrote, eventually you say no thank you. I'm worth more. He then wrote, I've been underutilized, or whatever you want to call it, for 4 years. There was a question by one of his followers, Martin, and Martin asked, when Fandango returns from injury, will you go back to being the fashion police? And Tyler Breeze, this was awesome. Tyler Breeze actually responded You don't actually think there's a plan, do you? I love that, guys, because it's something the Amplified Man preaches since he had this channel. Vince McMahon no longer plans for anything. And when he does, they're very loose because he knows he's going to change them spur of the moment at any given chance that he sees fit. There's no plans anymore. It's all Vince's day-to-day illogical bullshit. That's all he's coming up with. At any moment, he's changing shit. You could blame it because he's much older now. You can say he's senile. You can say he lost touch. Maybe it's a combination of all of that. It's mostly because he doesn't care anymore. WWE is his second fiddle now. He is now playing host to his first love, the XFL. That's getting all of McMahon's time now. Tyler Breeze actually came out and blasted WWE. You don't actually think there's a plan, do you? Referee Scott Armstrong actually chimed in and said, Tyler, tough day, huh? And Tyler Breeze responded, no more than usual. See ya on Main Event tomorrow. Another slight dig to WWE. See ya on Main Event tomorrow. Like usual, is basically what Tyler's saying. So Tyler Breeze had a fucking up. All of this we're seeing in the last 48 hours really taking shape. It started with Neville. Months and months back when Neville just had enough and walked out on the company. He had enough to the point where he said, fuck this. Your biggest creative for me is to lose to Enzo? And then you have nothing for me? Like you didn't give me a reason? And so a talent like Neville just said, fuck this and fuck you, I'm out. Fuck you, I'm taking the fish. Like Jerry Maguire. And it continued. Whether you think it's a top star or not, Lana has been very vocal. Rusev, her husband, very vocal. A lot of people said Rusev should have had a huge push with that Rusev Day. He got shit. I hated the Rusev Day gimmick with Aiden English to a point because I felt it was going to get stale really quick, and it did. But you should have definitely rode with Rusev. And there was a time, guys, where Rusev and Lana could have been the hottest thing in WWE when it came to heels. This is even before Rusev Day, I was telling you guys that. And they failed to push the blast-off button. And then Rusev Day came on, and he could have been the biggest thing as a face, and they refused to push the blast-off button. They've been vocally displeased and been showing that. Zack Ryder, who a lot of people said back in the day, they should have pushed the blast-off button with Zack Ryder when he was really hot. And they let that thing cool off to the point where he is an obscurity and has never came out. And he's been on social media blasting WWE because he's had enough. I can go on and on, guys. They're starting to form a little bit of a union. You can't actually say that word because in any company that is not unionized, if you say the word union, they will cut ties with you. So they can't call it that. Jesse Ventura has been trying to unionize pro wrestling for fucking decades and decades. But they are starting to unionize of sorts. And they're starting to speak out a lot more. And again, it's total vindication for channels like mine that don't come in front of these cameras on YouTube and platforms like this, and we don't give you fluff. Fluff is what Luigi or Lugepsi or whatever her name is, and she just watches wrestling on the camera, and everything is exciting to her. She's having the time of her life to get that money and those views, and to get those younger audience to subscribe to her channel. Wow, this is really fun. There's no negativity at all in pro wrestling. And then you have Simon over on What Culture. I give this 17 thumbs up and only 4 downs. Could it have been better? Maybe, but it was still a decent show. And decent meaning 17 thumbs up. Come back next week and I might give it 27 thumbs up and maybe 3 downs. Because I'm a fucking idiot who knows nothing about wrestling. So you got your Simons, you got your Lugepsis, you got your fucking, who knows, you got your Justin LaBars in his little suit and tie, right? He got his little suit and tie and he doesn't even get that many fucking views as it is. And he's supposed to come across like he's an informant for WWE when WWE is probably laughing at this fucking guy. Ha, look at this fucking clown. He's an ass kisser and he's not even in our company. And then you got channels like me. I have no reason to give you fucking fluff. I have fucking plenty of money. I live a fucking great life now. I came from fucking projects to the fucking prison scene, and I worked my way to what I have now in New York City. Nobody takes that shit from the Amplified Man because the Amplified Man is too fucking amplified. I don't gotta play second fiddle to nobody. I don't gotta fluff up anything for anybody. I do what I want on my terms. And if I see bullshit, I'm gonna call it out. And if this company has gone to the shitter, then I'm gonna call it out. And I won't stop until it changes. This is vindication for anybody. People that watch these videos, to the wrestlers themselves, because I know these videos get to the wrestlers. I know for a fact. I had CM Punk actively search me out to block me. I've had Naomi actually thank me on social media for these videos. So I know these videos get to the pro wrestlers. I know at least 75+% of that roster knows who the BC Amplified Man is. Trust me on this. I've had, when I went to WWE headquarters and I had their marketing team give me that smirk when we were talking about who in that company knows the Amplified Man. And that's when I was really just starting. And this is vindication. Their own superstars, their own employees, their own people are now turning their backs on them. Displeased, pissed off. They've had enough. And they're joining the fight in the movement with the Amplified Man and the Amplified Unit. And saying this has to change. How much longer can this happen? For them, the actual performers, the actual superstars, how much longer can they do this and not be treated correctly? Not be shown the time of day, not be respected, not be utilized properly? And it translates to the fans, the audience. How much more of these TV shows can we watch and not be entertained? 3 hours of Raw, and when it goes off the air, we're not even entertained at all. 2 hours the next night on SmackDown, we're not entertained. 4 days later, you got the pay-per-view. We're not entertained. So you could be pissed off with people like the Amplified Man all you want. I'm too negative, and I criticize too much, and I'm too loud, and I'm always yelling. But you know what? I was right all along. Because that just got proven, especially in the last 48 hours. And it's people like me that are going to change this bitch for the better. Don't like it? Deal with it. Or wait, let me say what those dipshits would say to me. You don't like it? Don't watch. Don't touch. Don't touch. Don't watch, motherfucker. I am so proud. I'm like a proud father right now of every superstar that has, especially in the last 48 hours, and that will continue to step up, stand up, speak up for themselves, and call out Vince McMahon and call out this bullshit. I am so proud of every one of you. From Tyler Breeze to Naomi, to Luke Harper, to Neville for walking out, to Lana and Rusev, and everybody that is going to follow suit. Zack Ryder, who's been very vocal. I can go on and on, guys. And that's why I give props to Cody Rhodes. He saw the writing on the wall even before Neville when he walked. He said, fuck this shit. I love that. I love when people stand up for themselves. Yeah, it may cost you your career. It may cost you a lot of money. It may cost you a lot. How much is your own self-worth and self-happiness worth to you? That's the ultimate question. I'm the Amplified Man. I'll see you guys tomorrow where we're going to get amplified again, no doubt, because Monday Night Raw tonight looks like shit. If you haven't seen the official preview that I put out, check out the video yesterday. Oh, we got amplified just on the preview of tonight's Raw. Just imagine how tomorrow's review is going to go. I'll put that in the corner of the end of this video, guys. One of these corners. All you got to do is click on that. That's the preview for tonight's video, or tonight's Raw, I should say. Tomorrow morning, Monday Night Raw's review. And again, like always, I'm not going to fluff this up and give you what you want to hear and give you positivity. I'm going to give you the fucking truth. I'm the Amplified Man. Oh, that was the farthest ever. That was fucking awesome. For now, Mitch and I, what up, Mitch? We're saying check you later. Yeah.